Shocking reports confirm that Boots Ennis ditched Terence Crawford for a rematch with Chukhadzhian. In a recent interview, former boxer Chris Algieri from ProBox TV was asked about his thoughts on the 147-pound division turning into a wasteland after Terence Crawford moved up in weight. Algieri astoundingly claimed that Boots Ennis is one of the best fighters still remaining at this division.
Well, with Terence Crawford moving up to 154, 147, by some accounts, may be considered kind of a wasteland. You have Boots Ennis, you have Brian Norman, who just was upgraded to WBO champion. So, Chris, who is going to fill in the void and become the top star at 147?
I don't know if I would necessarily call it a wasteland. There are some talented fighters there. You mentioned Jarrom Ennis. You've got Stanionis, who's a fantastic fighter. I would really like to see Ennis and Stanionis tangle. Mario Barrios is a good fighter who's looking to be improving all the time. He looked really good in his last fight against Usyk.
Chris further stated that there are plenty of stars in the 147-pound division, including Mario Barrios and Brian Norman Jr., who recently became full champion by the WBO. He also said that Jarrom Ennis is the best in terms of marketability and selling the fights. Chris also said that it would be interesting to see all of the different fights being made with Jarrom Ennis. Meanwhile, former boxer Paulie Malignaggi supported Chris's remarks that Jarrom Ennis is the cream of the crop when it comes to 147. Paulie also claimed that Ennis has shown great resolve in his previous fights, so he is the star in terms of selling the fights. Paulie further said that even though Ennis is a world-class fighter, he has struggled when it comes to his name shining with the bigger names in boxing. Furthermore, Paulie said that there were some huge names in the 147 division, with Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, Sean Porter, but still this division is optimistic in a sense that it is not a wasteland. Paulie gave his comments on the possible fights that can be made in the 147-pound division.
I think that's why I would rather call it open pastures. The 147-pound landscape, Ennis seems to be the favorite to be able to grab the bull by the horns and become the star, be the favorite, the darling of the group. But nonetheless, there's still some pretty good fighters in there that, although they don't have that superstar potential in your eyes, if you match them up against each other, they're pretty good fighters. They're championship level fighters, and so you can basically, like for example, you make a Barrios and Norman fight. Okay, it's not two superstars, but it's an interesting fight. You really can't really pick a winner for sure.
Algieri commented that with the help of Turki Al-Sheikh, the unification fights will be made since old fighters are retiring and lots of young faces are coming up. This gives fighters in that division a chance to fight for the titles. On the other hand, Boots Ennis had been chasing Terence Crawford for a fight for years, but Crawford has not shown any interest in Boots. Previously, Crawford told everyone that he had given Ennis a chance to fight him, which was false on Crawford's end because Boots clearly denies this claim. Recently, Terence Crawford vacated his WBO welterweight title, which opened new doors for Jarrom Boots Ennis. Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, who also happens to be Jarron's promoter, shockingly revealed that the IBF just called out Jarrom to defend his title against a very formidable adversary.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, look, we'd love to fight this year. If it's not, it will be early in 2025. But that's the key now for us, to get that fight. I want to make one thing clear that I see some comments about Jarrom Ennis. The mandatory has been called.
Eddie Hearn seemed disappointed at the IBF for calling out a rematch of Boots with Chukhadzhian. Hearn was of the opinion that he needed to make Boots fight Conor Benn, which would have been an amazing fight for the fans. Hearn distressingly claimed that he is not over the moon when he heard about Karen, because Jarrom Boots has already fought him before. Eddie further commented on his hands being tied when it comes to the biggest fight for Boots. There's nothing we can do in terms of the mandatory that's been called, but we want to make the biggest fights out there, so it's frustrating. If it's a fight that has to be ticked off quickly, well, we'll do it. Hearn said that he wants the biggest fights for both Jarrom Ennis and Conor Benn. He alarmingly revealed that both fighters may end up fighting each other, but the goal for Boots is to put him in the best unification bouts possible. Eddie Hearn claimed that he made a substantial offer to Mario Barrios for WBC and IBF unification fight, and Hearn is waiting for his response. Although Boots defeated Chukhadzhian by a wide score, he couldn't cut off the ring on him and frequently missed his attempts to land big shots on the Ukrainian fighter. Boots was made to look bad in that fight and was widely criticized later by fans, fighters, and the media. Ennis never attempted to throw a significant number of body shots, and his trainer, Derek Bozy Ennis, seemed lost in his corner. On the other end, Brian Norman Jr. is another strong contender at 147 pounds, who recently turned from WBO interim 147-pound champion to full champion, with the organization as Terence vacated his belt. The last remaining belt from Crawford's undisputed championship, WBA, will either be vacated or stripped from him if he continues sitting on it. In an interview, when Brian was asked if he will ever fight Jarrom Ennis, Brian said, "Boots is looking to become undisputed one day, and so am I, so there's your answer." Brian also commented that Boots and his family are amazing people, and he had a good time with them in Philadelphia, but boxing is just boxing. Norman was later asked about who he sees winning among Terence Crawford and Boots Ennis in a one-on-one duel. He said that Terence Crawford would win because he has been in the game for a longer time. Norman is convinced that both fighters have exactly the same fighting style, so the matchup would be fairly close. When Boots Ennis had beaten David Evanesian in a fifth-round knockout, way faster than Terence Crawford stopped him, the Saudi promoter turned his attention to Boots. Turki Al-Sheikh took to social media and said, "I just reached out to boxer Jarrom Ennis and Eddie Hearn to congratulate him on his win, and I'd love to see Ennis in fight with Crawford at weight 154 soon." Boots has been chasing Terence for a very long time, but Eddie Hearn has different plans for him. Eddie Hearn's goal is to make Boots unify all the titles at 147 and then move up to potentially face Terence Crawford at 154 pounds. If Boots moves up to 154 too soon, then he will not be popular enough for other fighters in that weight class. This will deteriorate his reputation as a fighter. Moreover, Boots is facing the same type of scenario that Terence Crawford faced before he fought Errol Spence. Just like Boots, Crawford could not get the bigger fights because he was being ducked for such a terrific name in the sport and such a terrifying fighting style. Boots is also struggling with bigger fights, but he definitely has the capability to unify the 147-pound division. Terence Crawford was pursuing Errol Spence Jr. for a fight when Boots Ennis got mixed up in the chaos. Despite being Terence Crawford's mandatory opponent, Boots was not granted the opportunity to face Crawford and instead chose to wait and see what would happen. As fate would have it, Terence Crawford defeated Errol Spence Jr. with great brutality in the 9th round of their 2023 fight. Due to this delay, Boots lost a great deal of valuable time that he could have used to battle, grow stronger, and earn more money. Boots Ennis slammed Terence Crawford in his post-fight press conference for ducking him for so many years. He said that Crawford should have stayed at 147 if he actually wanted to fight him. Boots also said that Crawford never signs a contract to fight him.
World-class Honda? What does he mean?
Yeah, he said world-class fighter. I guess he's trying to say if you're a world-class fighter.
Sign a contract. Exactly, sign a contract. If he wanted to fight, he would have stayed at 47. He obviously said he he wanted to move up in competition to be undisputed at 54 or something like that. So, yeah, he definitely did say that too. Exactly. Yeah.
We ain't worrying about, right now we ain't worrying about Crawford. We're going to clean 147 now, and then we're going to move to 154. If he's there and he got a belt, we coming after him. Simple as that.
During the Riyadh season, Terence Crawford crossed paths with Boots Ennis momentarily. Terence said that he thought Boots wasn't going to watch the fight, but he came anyway.
Thought she wasn't going to watch it.
Boots trainer Bozy Ennis was interviewed about his thoughts when Boots and Terence crossed paths. Bozy said that Ennis is not a fan of watching fights because he will be doing other things, but he came to watch Crawford. After Crawford's lackluster win over Israel Madrimov, Bozy Ennis declared that if Boots were to fight Madrimov, then he would have stopped him. Bozy further said that Madrimov is a great fighter and he has some really good moves, but Boots will fight and come to attack. Bozy's statements were contrary to what Crawford did when he wasn't attacking as frequently as he should have. Derek Bozy said that Terence didn't want to take any chances. If he took chances, then he could have beaten Israel. Meanwhile, Boots Ennis' coach Rel reacted to the scene when Boots Ennis and Terence Crawford crossed paths during the Riyadh season. Coach Rel stunningly claimed that Boots is not worried about Terence at all.
Did you see the clip where Boots and Terence crossed paths and Terence was like, "I thought you weren't going to watch"?
Yeah, nah, man. Boots ain't worried about Terence. If the fight come, they won it. He won it. But Terence ain't worried about Boots. If the fight cross their path, I'm sure it'll be a great, excellent fight. But Keep doing what you're doing. Boots gonna keep doing what he's doing.
Coach Rell claimed that Boots is going to take over boxing in the near future, and he will be the new face of boxing along with Shakur and other great fighters. Furthermore, Derek Bosey was shocked when he heard that Terence Crawford's coach Bomac commented that Boots brings nothing to the table. Bosey revealed that Terence Crawford is looking for the biggest money. Derek said that he doesn't blame Crawford for chasing a big purse, but they want to test out their skills against Crawford. Derek also believes that Errol Spence is another prominent figure in the 147-pound division, although he was unsure where Errol would return next. Boots and his team want the best fights for Ennis, and they clearly intend to clean out the 147-pound division, then move up to 154 to catch bigger fish. Derek further said that they have the IBF title now, so anyone who wants to fight Boots can bring it on. You know, work your way, get back up to the top. We'll fight anybody. You don't care who it is. The tables turn out, yeah, now we are in line, now we got the title, come and get it. Moreover, Derek was asked about Boots Ennis' next possible opponent. He said that fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC title would be a great option for Boots.
What's going on currently? You guys have any day?
No, we were supposed to be on the 30th, but Barrios was the only one really accept the fight.
Oh wow!
He's right there too. That's why we would fight him, because he's right there for the WBC title.
Right. WBC.
He got the WBC inner on that.
Correct.
Derek Bosey batters Mario for ditching Boots regarding their fight in March because Barrios had complications with his wife having a baby. Bosey unforgivingly said that Mario needed more time with his family, but he already had time before this, so it's a clear sign that he is avoiding Boots. Bosey astoundingly remarked that they may place Boots' next fight on Canelo's card or somewhere else, which they will figure out soon enough. Bosey believes that fighters should have fun when they are in the ring, and Boots did the same thing with Karen. Derek stunningly claimed that if they are given big chances to fight like Terence Crawford or Errol Spence, then people will know what Boots is capable of. Meanwhile, Mario's trainer Bob Santos shockingly revealed that Barrios will be fighting the boxing legend Manny Pacquiao in a title fight very soon. Fans were skeptical as to whether the fight between Manny and Mario would be an exhibition or a real fight, to which Bob responded, "The fight is very realistic. Very realistic. Manny wants the fight, we want the fight, and the WBC has already said they would approve the fight." Bob Santos further declared that the fight may take place in the fall of this year, either in Las Vegas or Texas. Bob gives a clear message that Manny has accepted the fight, but was unsure which venue they were going to choose. Recently, the 8-division world champion Manny Pacquiao has gotten the itch for combat again. Manny fought his last title fight against Yordenis Ugas in 2021 and lost by unanimous decision. What is most concerning is that Manny got absolutely battered against Rukia Anpo, the Japanese kickboxer, in his recent exhibition match in Tokyo. In addition, Jarrom Boots Ennis went the distance for the first time in his career as he defeated Chukhadzhian in 2023. The unbeaten American Boots Ennis was the clear favorite against the unfancied Ukrainian, and Chukhadzhian played out all 12 rounds with a defensive mindset. The judges scored Ennis the overwhelming winner, with all three of them giving it 120-108 in his favor, and Boots turned the IBF champion at welterweight. Do you think Boots will ever get a chance to fight Crawford? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more content like this.